In the winter of 1959, 9 young, experienced hikers decided to trek across the northern Ural Mountains on a journey that was supposed to be a triumph of skill and endurance. Their destination was a peak known as Otorten, but to reach it, they had to cross the slopes of Kholat Syok, a desolate, wind-swept height that the local Mansi people hauntingly called the Mountain of the Dead. The mountain was a brutal landscape of jagged rock and blinding white snow, where the wind screamed at speeds that could knock a grown man off his feet. Despite the conditions, the group was in high spirits. On the evening of February 1st, they set up camp on the exposed slope. They ate their evening meal, shared jokes, and chilled inside the cramped warmth of their tent, documenting their journey in diaries and taking photos. As the night deepened, they crawled into their sleeping bags to rest, confident in their ability to survive the elements. But something happened in the dead of night. Something so terrifying that it shattered their discipline and survival instincts in an instant. Instead of using the tent's exit, the hikers used knives to slash the canvas from the inside, tearing their way out into a minus 30 degrees Celsius blizzard. They fled down the slope in a state of sheer panic, leaving behind their boots, their heavy coats, and their equipment. They vanished into the darkness and the swirling snow, disappearing completely into the mountain's frozen silence. For weeks, no one knew their fate. It wasn't until a search and rescue operation was launched that the investigation team stumbled upon the campsite. They found a shredded tent, half buried in snow, and a trail of footprints that led toward the tree line, footprints made by bare feet and socks. As the investigators followed those tracks, they began to uncover a scene of such inexplicable horror that it remains one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century. As the investigators followed the trail of footprints down the mountain, they first arrived at the edge of the forest, near a massive, ancient cedar tree. There, the mystery turned into a tragedy. Under the tree, they found the first 2 bodies. They were dressed only in their underwear, lying next to the remains of a small, pathetic fire. Their hands were charred, and the skin was torn. They had been desperately clawing at the frozen bark of the cedar, trying to climb it to see something, perhaps the tent they had fled. Further along the path between the tree and the camp, the team found 3 more hikers, including the group's leader, Igor Dyatlov. They were spaced out in the snow, their bodies frozen in positions that suggested a final, heroic struggle to crawl back toward the tent. They had died from the cold, one by one, while reaching out for the only shelter they had. But the most disturbing discoveries were yet to come. It took 2 more months, as the spring thaw began, to find the remaining 4 hikers. They were buried deep under 4 meters of snow in a nearby ravine. Unlike the others, these 4 hadn't just succumbed to the cold, they had suffered violent, catastrophic injuries. One man's skull had been crushed. 2 others had massive chest fractures, their ribs shattered with a force so intense it was as if they had been hit by a high-speed car. Yet there was no external bruising to explain the damage. Even more chilling were the missing pieces. One woman was found with her tongue and eyes missing. When the investigators checked the victim's clothing, they found traces of high-level radiation. There were no extra footprints, no signs of an avalanche, and no evidence of an attack by local tribes or animals. The Soviet government abruptly closed the investigation, citing an unknown compelling force as the cause of death. The files were classified and hidden away, leaving the world to wonder what could have been so terrifying that it drove 9 elite hikers to their deaths in the snow.